Trump smirks as Brazil's far-right president says they are united against LGBTQ people.
Okay.
President... Sky, how is his fucking name pronounced? Is it Jair? Is it Jair? Jair?
Okay, so he's Brazilian,
Jair.
right? It's probably
Jair.
Jair. Because J becomes an H in most, like, I don't know, though, because it's fucking Portuguese there, so who knows?
Yeah, whatever.
It might be Jair, or it might be Jair,
I'm saying
higher.
Jair until someone corrects me.
Jair is fine.
President Jair Bolsonaro.
Bolsonaro!
Bolsonaro!
I'm a piece of shit. How are you?
I chop down the rainforest. I'm a Bolsonaro.
We do not need the rainforest.
Presidente piece of shit-naro.
Anyway, he said that the U.S. and Brazil are united in their efforts to undermine and erase LGBTQ people while Donald Trump stood beside him.
What an idiot.
Yeah. Bolsonaro and Trump
job.
delivered joint statements at the White House yesterday to kick off the Brazilian president's visit to the U.S. At the end of his statement, Bolsonaro said, "In conclusion, may I say that Brazil and the United States stand side by side in their efforts to ensure liberties and respect the traditional family lifestyle and respect to God, our Creator, against the gender ideology and the politically correct attitudes and against fake news. May I voice my admiration and recognition to President Donald Trump on this beautiful day where we seal the promising alliance between the two most promising and largest democracies in the Western Hemisphere."
Brazil,
he added.
You guys had a chance to not have a Donald Trump. Like they had years to see.
They saw us and they were jealous. They're like, we
wait
want
a
our
minute.
own. We want our own Trump.
America
damn it.
thinks they can have a Trump. We're gonna have a fucking better Trump.
We're gonna have Trump times 10.
I just love how easy it is to get our president to lend you the immense power of standing next to him on the national stage.
Well, as long as you're an evil piece of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you actually
he-
support like pluralism and egalitarianism and democracy and shit like that, then
Fuck
he doesn't even want to be seen with you. Won't even shake your hand. Probably spit on you.
This is kind of unrelated, but it was kind of funny. I had a bunch of pro-Bolsonaro Brazilian dudes.
Oh yeah, in your chat.
Yeah, rated me on a ideology recently. And they were like, you know, they had a bunch of pro-Bolsonaro memes that they were spamming in the chat. And they were trying to get me to turn my stream off, but I wouldn't. I just laughed and have fun with them, and eventually they left. But I thought it was kind of cool to have some Bolsonaro activism, even if I don't agree with him, you know.
We are the Bolsonaro.
We're the Bolsonaro crew. Get off a line, white boy. Bolsonaro's here.
All Brazilians now officially have Italian accents because Bolsonaro
do we
sounds
have
Italian.
Trump gangs doing that, though? Or they're like
Yeah.
There used to be.
Trumpies?
Oh, did there used to be?
Are there
a lot
like
of them?
Trumpies that go
Yeah,
around
it's-
to people's live stream and they're like Trumpa-lumpa, Trumpa-lumpa?
Oh, yeah, for sure. But
you
not-
know, like and like.
Not organized. I've never had an
it's diminished
organized
now.
Trump people raid. But you know,
We need
obviously
that kind of fire back in our politics.
Well,
is what I'm saying.
I see the Yang Gang around.
the
Yang
Yang
Gang's
Gang sucks, TJ.
They're representing.
That's a bad one, though. It's a bad thing to
Bad
call
ideas.
themselves.
Why
Because
Yang
it's not
rhymes with gang?
Because they need to make their candidate more accessible. And there's about, I'd say, 85-90% of Americans aren't going to fucking call themselves part of the Yang Gang.
I'll join.
Well, go ahead.
I'm
I mean,
joining.
you don't care about shit, TJ. You join the I'm a small-dicked douchebag gang.
Dude, you know what though?
I think I'm already in that gang.
Oh, yeah.
He needs to tell people to join the $1,000 gang.
see you at the next
dude.
meeting, by
'Cause
the way.
everyone in this country is gonna get $1,000.
I don't think everyone in the country is going to get to see Andrew
They're
Yang
gonna get that $1,000
more than one
Paul.
or two of these debates.
I heard that Ben Shapiro is going to be talking to him soon too. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I'm interested to see how he does in the conservative sphere. Anyway, Ronald Reagan's daughter, Trump GOP, bears no resemblance to my father's.
Disagree.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Disagree with that.
Wrong.
Sorry, Reagan's daughter who doesn't want her father's fucking
what
memory to
didn't-
be besmirched.
I mean, you can say this though. Under the Reagan administration, didn't they grant amnesty to 3 million people? Which is
yes,
but I mean, yeah, obviously there's caveats to that.
Of
But
course.
I mean, dude, I don't think there's any way Donald Trump would ever consider that in 1,000 million fucking trillion years.
She was asked. Well, actually, he did at one point kind of offer amnesty if we built his wall. But
that is true. That was on the table at one point.
anyway, so she was asked what her father would think about Trump. I think he would be horrified. I think he would be heartbroken because he loved this country a lot and believed in this country. She said of her dad during an appearance on Through Her Eyes, a weekly blah, blah, blah.
That's a very vague thing to say. Like you could say anyone believes in America. Like, I believe I live in the United States. What does that mean?
I don't know why a living relative's interpretation of what she thinks a person might have thought if they were alive is even really that newsworthy or quotable.
Ronald Reagan was the big bringing religion back into politics guy.
I mean, he won 49 states.
Going after that fucking evangelical vote.
He was also,
he
really
fermented a lot of the anti-homosexual
Reagan's presidency
shit.
really was about restructuring the tax code and putting us on the path.
And it was all about supply-side economics, which Trump loves, of course, and the Republicans have loved it ever since.
Trickle down.
Yeah,
it's really foundational in like the neocon, neoliberal fucking movement because Reagan won 49 states. You want to talk about a landslide? Ronald Reagan won some fucking landslides, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, to act like Trump has nothing to do with Reagan. I mean, like, they even come from similar backgrounds, both being, from the entertainment industry.
They were elected. They were elected with similar kind of the similar kind of grassroots support movement, and they were seen as outsiders to the political world of Washington.
But Reagan was
DC.
governor of California.
I know he was,
so he had more political experience. By the time.
Of course, he wasn't completely inexperienced, but he was still seen as kind of
an
outsider to the Washington political establishment. He bucked a lot of the trends in his own party. Like, look, I'm not going to stand here and say that the Reagan presidency was a direct analog of the Trump presidency. There were obvious differences, and there may have been obvious things.
These are just,
Right, there are parallels here. I mean, there were things that clearly Reagan probably would have disagreed with Trump on, but to say that your dad would have been completely horrified, if Reagan was alive, there's a good chance he would support
How much
Trump.
of the stuff that he did, that he would have done differently was just because he lived in a different time?
That's why this is a brain dead statement to print, because it's just like what Reagan would have thought in the 80s when his mind was still about him and he was still a political figure makes absolutely no point nowadays. We live he would have no idea what political correctness even was as a concept.
Well, I think what it is because a lot of conservatives harken back to Reagan constantly. So I think it's kind of like a pushback from obviously it's the Huffington Post. It's like a liberal, actually Reagan would have thought Donald Trump is dog shit and they would have hated him.